I started playing video games and watching anime, things like that, when I was 5 years old. Actually, there was a day where I was watching Pokemon, and I watched 5 episodes. And this means actually like almost 2 hours of content, and I've written on the wall right beside my PC, Pokemon episode 6. This meant that whenever I go to the table the next day, I would be able to remember that I am on episode 6. My parents were like crazy angry about this because I've written this on the fucking wall, right? Oh man. I started playing a lot of video games on this PC that I've had on 5 years old. Today is pretty common, right? A 5 year old having a tablet, a cell phone. It's pretty common, but at this time it was very uncommon. So having access to this PC that I had, I kind of became addicted to video games really soon. And whenever I could, I would be playing video games. Like, actually, whenever I could. It is kinda sick, right? Because of this, until today, I still have a very addictive personality towards video games, towards anime. If I start watching an anime, I'll probably finish it, even though if it is very long or something like that. So this basically means that something that I've had in my childhood, in my infancy, actually made me addicted for life onto video games. If I start playing a video game right now, I might stop like 8 hours after this. So basically, this happens with fucking everything in life. Video games basically is just as an example. And actually, with every single person, your childhood, it's going to define your whole fucking life. You're just following traumas or addictions that you've got when you were a child your whole life. This is if you don't enter self-improvement. You can change your habits and addictions that you've got when you were a child if you really try to, and you only have two ways to do this. It either is from repetition or from a very traumatic event. So when you have these things that we call FTE, fuck this event, something suddenly changes about your life. Really suddenly. So like for a very fat guy to stop eating, this is an addiction that he had in his childhood. He can like be very bullied on a single day. And this makes him not want this anymore. Chase the opposite of this, right? And this is what we call FTE, a fuck this event. And there's also the other way that you can do this, that is through repetition. Through repetition, it's kind of safer, if I would say, but it takes a lot of time. There's a lot of things about dopamine and habits that you can do to change your habits throughout your life. So let's say you've never got to the gym, never once in your life, and you start at, I don't know, 18, 20 years old, 15 years old. You're probably going to have a lot of trouble being consistent in the gym. And why is that so? Because physical training isn't actually a thing you develop during your childhood. This means that as a young man, you're probably going to need a lot of repetition of this habit. You're going to do it again and again and again and again and again and again until it becomes automatic. And it's going to take a lot of time for it to do this. Or else you can have a FTE, fuck this habit. Like if you're very skinny and get really bullied one day, or feel really nasty about your physique one day, looking in the mirror, you can have an FTE, fuck this habit. You will be so like disgusted with your actual life that you are going to change it brutally. So for most people, achieving an FTE, it's actually kind of difficult. This means that for most of our habits, we're going for repetition training. And repetition, it it's not only about doing the habit various times. If I told you that, oh, you just need to do it for 30 days and you're going to develop a habit, I wouldn't be lying to you, but I would be saying something that you already know about this. And you're watching a YouTube video because you're trying to discover something new. You're trying to educate yourself, right? So I'll cover 3 simple steps for you to implement any habit inside your life and flee out of your childhood habits, of your childhood traumas. Because actually 90% of people are just following whatever they learned on their childhood. Whenever they get a relationship, they're just following the type of love, the pattern of love that their parents gave them long times ago. Whenever they're trying to implement a new habit, whenever they're trying to get out of a habit, they're just repeating the patterns that they learned in childhood. So number 1, every single habit needs a specific habitat. This means that if you're trying to develop a habit, if you're trying to do something every single day, you need to get an ambient, a specific ambient for this. This is why a lot of people that start working out at home, they give up. But it's rare to see someone that works out in the gym giving up. The gym is a place where you can actually feel like working out. You can actually grasp the habit of working out inside there because there's nothing else to do inside of the gym. Whatever, you can be social, you can go there to have conversations, but the thing is, everyone is kind of working out there, so you should do it as well. So let's say you have the bad habit of always playing a video game when you get home. You get home, you sit on your PC, and automatically you're just playing video games. The time that you sit on your PC, you're playing video games. This is a habit that you constructed, that you built upon sitting on the PC. The ambience, the PC room, it's where you play video games. This means that for you to get out of this habit, you can do a lot of things. You can change your PC room. You can erase all your desktop and start using white theme. If you're used to dark themes on your PC, you just put on light themes and it's a lot more unusual. Then you are able to begin and construct a habit around this white theme, around this new ambience that your PC gives you. Now you can deconstruct, demolish this old habit that you had because you changed the ambience. So you need to make your brain think, if it's white theme, I'm not going to be playing. And whenever you really feel like playing again, you need to switch to dark theme before. So that in this way, you can make your brain think about it, make your brain actually get used to play only on dark theme on the PC. Only on this ambience, I can play video games. And for you to get out of the habit, you simply erase these ambience really slowly. So every time you give 5 minutes less for yourself to play video games. And after only 12 days, you might be playing for 1 hour less a day. So this works to demolish old habits, but this also works for constructing new habits. Whenever you're going to the gym, you think the gym is a workout place. It's something that you need. It's somewhere that you need to be to work out. So working out becomes a habit that's associated with the gym. You can actually do this at home. If you're going to start training at home, maybe calisthenics or something like that, you're going to need a new ambience for that. Because if you're doing this in the same bedroom, in the same room where you play video games, you will need a lot of willpower to use on not playing video games. And as I've said 1,000 times before, and I'm still going to say it, willpower, it's limited power. The people who have the most self-control abilities are the ones who use it the less. Because it's a thing that you develop. If you're really addicted to using your phone, don't bring your phone to the place where you're going to work out, because you can associate this place with using your phone. And this is going to be a much greater problem, because destroying, demolishing a habit, it's actually very hard to do. Building a habit, it's actually hard to do again, but it's not as hard as destroying one. So for example, this living room of my house, it is the place where I record videos. If I am here, I'm thinking about recording videos all the time. This is the ambience where I should record videos. If you're going to work out at home, you should be choosing a specific room of your house just for working out. You also need to prepare your ambience. If you're going to work out in one specific room of your house, you're going to need to get it ready. So this means all the workout settings, all the workout equipments, things like that should be in this room. They should be all set it up for you to just pick them up and use them. This is the same concept that I use whenever I'm recording right now, because my room is already pretty much ready. This chair is always here. This tripod that I'm using to hold my phone so I can record for you, it's always right here. My phone, it's always right here. It always has the camera app right on the phone, so I can click it and start recording. All these things in the scenario are always in the same place. Whenever I get here, I am always with my water bottle, so I can drink water whenever. And it's already open all the time, so I don't need to think about doing this and doing that. I just need to think about recording after I drink water. So your ambience should always be prepared, as much prepared as possible, for you to do the habit immediately when you get there. So you don't associate this thing with anything else. This is why you can't fucking sleep at night, because you've associated your bed with like using your phone. You're always using your phone in the bed. You always get your phone with you when you go to the bathroom. You're going to associate your bed with using the phone, not fucking sleeping. That's why I never lay on my bed whenever it's daytime, because my bed is a place where I should sleep, you know? You should always do this also. Don't bring your phone to bed. Don't bring distractions up to bed. Bed should be for sleeping. So whenever you lay upon your bed, you think about sleeping, not any other things. I could actually use my bed. It has a wonderful scenario for recording videos. It has a good lighting to it. But using this place makes my bed a sacred place, a place where I should only sleep. So making an ambient prepared for you to do your habit actually makes it a lot easier. Trust me, you need to get an ambient ready for you to test this out. It actually makes building a habit so fucking easy. So second step for you to easily build out habits, it's for you to batch things out. For you to QE things alongside each other and then do it all at once. So let's say you're going to build the habit of reading. You want to start reading books every single day. Then you should batch the habit of reading with the habit that you already have. Let's say you already have the habit of going to the gym every day. So you're already going to the gym every single day. Then you set yourself up for you to, every single time you get out of the gym, you're going to read for 1 hour straight. Of course, you should use this advice with the other one. Create an ambient for you to read every single day, right? And after you get out of the gym, I don't know, you get home, you change your sweaty clothings, and then you start reading in a comfortable place where you're always going to read. In this comfortable place, you set your mind up for every time that you get out of the gym, you should be there. Every time you get out of the gym, you should be there for 1 hour at least for reading only. So you're batching a habit. This is kind of dangerous because imagine there's a holiday and the gym isn't opening this day. You're not going to read this day. This actually happens to me so much because I have 3 training sessions in my day. And one of them It's at the morning, right when I wake up. So I wake up 4:30 a.m. I get ready, I go to the gym. Actually, I just do this immediately after I wake up. Okay. So whenever I wake up at some time that isn't 4:30 a.m., I kinda don't go to the first training session. This is funny, right? Because this habit it's so batched with the fact of me going to the gym after I wake up. If I wake up in a different situation, if I wake up at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., it happens a lot. I don't go to the first training session. But every time I do wake up at 4:30, I am there. I am in the first training session. It's mandatory, you know. It's every single time this happens, I am going to be there. So this actually naturally occurs in every human life because let's say you always take a bit of coffee before going to work and one day you just wake up a little bit later and you don't have your coffee. Every single part of your job it's going to be harder. Every single habit you do in this day, it's going to be harder because you batched out every single thing with waking up and drinking coffee. So this is actually useful to build up habits like reading, as I said, but this is useful also to destroy habits. If you notice that a habit is batched with the other one, you can just cut the other one off. What I mean by this is that if every single time you sit on your PC chair, you're going to play video games, you just cut off the habit of sitting on the chair. Like let's say you get home from your job and you just sit at the sofa for you to get some rest. You're not going to play video games, are you? Because you didn't sit on the PC chair. Or maybe you have a console and then you don't sit on the sofa, you sit on the chair of your dining room, I don't know. You're not going to play video games because you're out of range of your console. See that? And this actually happened to a woman, like in real life, she realized that she stopped smoking. She was addicted to smoking, she knew she was a smoker, but she only smoked whenever she was riding a horse. And she rode a horse for a lot of time of her life, and then she moved out for some place, I don't know what happened. She didn't ride a horse for a very long time, and she didn't smoke also. But after like a very long time, 25 years later, when she sat on a horse, she felt like smoking again for the first time in a very long period. This meant that she wasn't actually a smoker. The habit of smoking was bashed out with the habit of riding a horse. And this works with so many things, right? Because every single thing in your day is batched with another thing. Like, think about it. For me to start recording, I need to set up this tripod on this height. It's batched out with recording, right? Recording every single day is a habit of mine. For me to go to the gym, it is batched with my time of waking up. For me to start playing video games, it is batched with the fact that I get home, I open my door on my room, I sit on my chair, I turn on my PC, and I open a video game. If I cut out any of these, if I don't open the door and get into my room, I'm not going to play video games. If I don't pick up the chair and sit on it, I'm not going to play video games. If I don't turn on the PC after I sit on the chair, I'm not going to play video games either. So this means that every single habit, it's batched out with some other thing. So moving on to the third step and the last one on this video to building any single habit, it's have fucking balls. Like right now, grab your balls, grab your nutsack, and do this. If you feel 2 balls there, you have fucking balls, and you should be ashamed of yourself every single time that you don't do a habit. Think about it. Every single time that you don't do a habit, you're becoming less of a man because you're betraying your own word for yourself. And keeping your word is a masculine trait both in women and both in men. The feminine way of being, the feminine nuclei, it communicates emotions. The masculine one communicates what it wants to communicate. The feminine doesn't actually lie. Women don't fucking lie. They're just feminine. They're communicating exactly what their emotion is for you right now. This is it. It's not a lie. Like, a woman can tell you that she doesn't fucking want to go out with you, she hates you because you did something wrong. But if you bring her a chocolate and ask the same thing again, the answer might be different. Because her emotions changed. And the feminine communicates their emotions. But the masculine, it's kind of the opposite. You communicate what you want to communicate. It doesn't matter your emotions. At least that's a masculine trait. I don't know if you always do this, but it is a masculine trait to do so. So if you said to yourself that you're going to do something, like you build a habit tracker saying, oh, I need to meditate 10 minutes a day every single day. So you wrote to yourself, 10 minutes of meditation every single day. You're going to meditate for fucking 10 minutes every single day. That's what you said for yourself. You need to honor your word. At least this is what you should do if you have a pair of fucking balls. If you're a man, you should honor the word that you give for yourself. Because it's a masculine trait, it's from the masculine nuclei to do this. That's why your father, it's always in disbelief at you. If you promise him that you're going to quit video games, that you're going to make something for your life up, that you're going to be good on a job and then you don't do it, you lose the respect your father had for you. If you're saying to your father, you're working right now, you're doing something useful in the PC, and then he comes an hour later and sees that you're playing, that you're gaming, he loses his belief on you because you're a man and he is also a man. He understands this concept of keeping your word. He understands that this is a masculine trait that his son should be having. And this is why you feel so bad on yourself whenever you're messing up on a habit that you set it up for yourself. Because if you were feminine, you wouldn't be giving a fuck, actually. Like, let's say you're having a contract with other guys, you're building a business together, and you ask them to do something in the business, then they don't do it, and they actually don't care about not doing it. They don't feel bad and anything. This is a feminine trait on them, because they gave you their word. And a man's word is his honor. A man's word is his strength. So every time you give your word to someone, every single time that you give your word to yourself, you need to not betray yourself. You need to not betray this someone. Especially if they're a man. Because you're going to lose their respect. You're going to lose your self-respect. And you need to do this. You need to lose your self-respect every time you don't honor your word for yourself. Because honoring your word, making your word your absolute truth, it's a masculine trait. It's something you shouldn't abandon in any time. So, this is it. The value of a man, it's always as high as his ambitions.